Hello. On a Tuesday night, I was just finishing my puzzle game. I thought I would sneakily finish it just before the stream started. I did not. Hey, honey, how you doing? I have the chuds tonight. I think it's just. I basically have really mild long COVID. Hello to you, Madam Butterfly and Greg. So yes, I think if we've got chat happening, I'm not making any cocktail videos tonight because low energy. I've got enough energy for chat. Ooh, Chinese noodles, nice. I cooked up some sausages and mushroom and onion and garlic, and it was good. And I actually cooked up like just a heap of this. It's probably at least 2 more meals, if not 3. So, that's me. So, okay. I successfully finished the thing with my puzzle game. So I probably shouldn't do any more because it's rude. We'll put the puzzle game down. It's a pity I can't play it on screen. And then it'd be like game. And look, I've got friggin' big spot on my forehead too. What's that all about? Spaghetti and meatballs. Nice. All right. I'm going to have the last of this clarified cocktail. And I'll make another one tomorrow. Oof. And there we go. Ugh, I got a lot of bottles to wash. All right. We'll have to see how that goes. I'm just gonna try and organize household things. It's really hot for the next couple of days, so I just want to stay inside where the air conditioning is on. Hey, Safa, thank you. Noticing I got my hair cut today. Actually, I got it cut quite short because I hadn't done that in ages. So I just thought I'd get a much shorter haircut and see how I felt about it. And I mean, so far I'm pretty happy with it. People are exciting. I'm going to wash it tomorrow and see what my hair looks like washed. But yeah, that's what I was saying. I got a big fucking spot on my forehead. Reliving my teenage. I get what you're saying. I did get the beard trim, but this is kind of like average. I'd let my hair and beard go for about a month or maybe even 2 months longer than I normally would. So, seeing, all right, an orange. And all right, you're typing let you down there, Safa. I have no idea what this sentence is intended to convey. Orange peel, does whatever orange feels. All right. I spell that with a Z, not an S. Yes, I'm with Heine on that. Mossy means, am I growing moss? No, it's not a mossy bite. It's like I said, I'm reliving my teenage years. I just got a big fucking spot on my forehead for some fucking reason. Another reason not to do cocktail videos tonight. Immortalizing a massive, really noticeable red spot on my forehead. Hopefully it'll calm down the next day or two. I'll make a video or two on Thursday. Yeah, it's basically a zit. But it's yeah, I don't know, it's very weird. It really caught me by surprise. Kind of appeared yesterday. Well, have I got any skewers left? I got on my last skewer. Okay, I got to remember get more or clean my skewers. Dr. Carl talking about cheese. Nice. God, I saw Dr. Carl on Twitter today. How that man managed to stay calm when responding, and not just calm, polite to the stupidest motherfuckers on the planet. Like, we've still got COVID deniers, vaccine conspiracists, and it's like, oh, you got to admit you were wrong now. We all know the vaccine was a bioweapon. And he just calmly explains how the COVID vaccines worked. And it's very interesting to me. He said they saved 20 million, and he meant globally. I think that's incredibly conservative, like phenomenally conservative measure on how many lives vaccines saved. Yeah, he's still on Triple J, and he's got these How It's Made things on ABC. What does that mean, Safa? Again, that's not a sentence I completely understand. Yeah. Okay, that's really yummy. I got to do something else with a clarified cocktail. Right. That is not even remotely surprising because of the fucking insanity spreading through the US. You're probably going to get massive measles outbreaks. The Trump regime will forbid the CDC from disclosing. In fact, I think they have forbidden the CDC from publicizing COVID and flu cases. They'll get a massive measles outbreak, which will be kids are the most vulnerable to measles. It will kill them. We are just going to see the stupidest shit, like people's lives being ruined, people dying completely unnecessarily, and God forbid we actually get the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario with bird flu is actually reasonably likely. It's not a done deal. It's not the most likely scenario, but it's a disturbingly likely scenario. And by that, I mean human to human transmission of an avian flu variant that has a high mortality rate. It will be a fucking disaster. RFK, I don't know. I mean, let's have a look, see if we can find him in news headlines. Haven't been paying that close attention. What are we doing? Let's just go RFK. Just stuff about his dumb shit about seed oils. RFK reviewing resumes for top Trump health jobs, sources say. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s nomination signals a new era of anti-intellectualism in American politics. That's from 29th January. So the fact that there's no headlines, I'd say short answer is no, he hasn't been confirmed for anything. Yeah, the bird flu keeps happening, like chicken farms in particular. If humanity gets wiped out or severely depleted, it's about 90% likely it's going to be because of factory farming. Factory farming is so unhygienic. It's a disease incubator. It's absolutely horrific for the animals, but you struggle sometimes to get people to care about that. But it's a freaking disease incubator. Poultry and pig in particular is extremely high risk of developing mutated viruses that are bad for humans. So, yikes, I guess. Humanism, the machine. Or human sin. Humans in the machine? That's a great username, by the way. And it's difficult to make people act morally. Well, it's difficult to make people do things. I think what we need to, and also morally is a value judgment. It means different things to different people. I think that's a great conversation starter, what you said there. It's difficult to make people care about complex things. Like if you present simple, moral arguments, I would argue that it's relatively easy to get a small number of people to make good moral choices. Again, value judgment, that's why I'm doing little air quotes. The larger the group, the more difficult it is to manage what people do, and the more complex the situation, the more difficult it is to get people to care about it. Safa. Well, yeah, the thing is, it's transmitted by migratory birds. So yeah, good biocontrol is good, but when it's transmitted by migratory birds, I mean, my God. Yeah, you're getting super germy, Madam Butterfly. Humans in the machine. You see, I think it's very funny because I'm kind of on board with you, but I'm very careful with language, and a lot of people. I mean, I don't disagree with your message there, but wording like that, a lot of people would be very reactionary and say you're talking about indoctrination and propaganda and other sundry insane shit you hear people say. I would say, what's the old saying about it takes a village to raise a child? I would say it's the responsibility of the entire community to do good things, be the example of good things, and identify. Okay, now I think you're taking the piss. And I take the piss all the time. So, again, see, yeah, okay, you're taking the piss because you're either taking the piss, which I'm a fan of, or you're a goddamn fucking moron. Or the alternative is a bad person. I think there's a spectrum somewhere. I'm choosing at this point to believe you're taking the piss because that's just a succession of cliches, basically, that paranoid right-wingers who are absolute fucking morons say about people who do have genuine positive educational goals. So, yes, either you're just lightheartedly taking the piss, which, I'm a fan of, although I do think those people are borderline impossible to parody. The other alternatives is you're a goddamn fucking moron, or you're an evil piece of shit trying to subvert at least vaguely decent messages by saying ridiculous totalitarian, authoritarian bullshit. So, and you may or may not have been trying to get a rise out of me. You may or may not have been, I don't know, trying to dupe me to get me to agree with fucked up statements. I mean, both failed. So, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt and just going with you're having some lighthearted fun and taking the piss. But, prove me wrong. Maybe you're just a complete cunt. I don't know. The world's very complex. And, fucking shitty people come in all shapes and sizes and do all sorts of stupid bullshit. But what am I going to do about it? Honestly. But it's a wacky thing. Someone different coming in and saying different things. I'm just, keeping it going for the moment, simply for entertainment and novelty value. So, thanks for providing some novelty, I guess. It's just, if it gets to the point where you're boring, then I'm certainly not going to engage anymore, because I think that's the sin, being boring. Now I want to sing the old Pet Shop Boys song, one of my favorite Pet Shop Boys songs. We were never being boring because we were never being bored. That's how old I am. I'm not liking the Pet Shop Boys as a retro thing. I was liking the Pet Shop Boys when they released this stuff in the 80s and 90s. They still release stuff. In fact, they released an album in the last year that was not bad. They released some remixes of some of their classic tracks that I was not so much a fan of. I'm not sure what they were trying to achieve with that, but anyway. Hey, Harry, how are you doing? How's the world been treating you? Because Lord knows the world is throwing up some difficult shit for a lot of people. And I shall not judge harshly anyone who is finding the going a little bit difficult at the moment, because that's the world right now. Difficult. I mean, I occasionally feel guilty about how well things are going for me, because I know how difficult things are for just so many people. But and that's what empathy is all about. Harry, you're off. Just up really late. Oh, well, thanks for dropping in to say hi. It's always fun when people from your part of the world is like, "Ooh, is this an insomniac or an early riser or someone who worked late?" There's a spectrum of possibilities with your time zone. It appears I am friend to insomniacs. What are we up to? It's pretty early days. 8:18. Don't know how long I'm gonna last tonight, because I have this friggin' long COVID tiredness. But soldiering on. I think I've mentioned I'm using it as my excuse to not go into the office more days a week, because it's an absolutely legitimate excuse. I get fatigued quite easily since the third time I had COVID. Harry, thank you. I do my very best to make sense, Harry. I appreciate your support on that front. It was so funny. Someone commented on one of my old videos, and I don't rewatch my old videos. This one was about, it was probably more than 10 years old. It might have even been 15 years old. But I was like, oh shit, that's right. I used to just fucking scream for the whole video. It was like, fuck. Sometimes I forget how full on the videos I did were. Madam Butterfly, early riser, little case of insomnia. There's often crossover with those two, Madam Butterfly. I have this one whiskey bottle that just has a little bit of whiskey in it, and I've been meaning to use it up. So I think I will do that. I'm going to make an old fashioned with whiskey that was matured in a cask that had previously had apple brandy in it. So it's picked up some apple flavors. So, oh, okay, I've got that in there too. You know what? Fuck it, we're doing it. How much is in here? Okay, that's a decent pour I'm giving myself, but it's the last of the bottle that I got in 2022. So it took me two and a half years to drink it. Drop that in there. We'll put just a little bit of, you know what, I won't even put it in there. I'm just going to put a little bit of sugar syrup. And I do think we want some bitters for the full old-fashioned experience. All right. And we're off to the races. Oh, there we go. And here we are. Oh, you know what? I'm feeling a bit flat, so I think I need a treat. I'm going to put a second cherry on my skewer because I'm special and I deserve it. Stab a cherry. And they're only little cherries anyway. I think if I finish that jar of cherries, which will take a little while. How many cherries does it look like are still in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like a dozen cherries still in there. That'll take me a week or two to get through. Then I do have a backup jar, but then I might use that as an excuse because the cheapest place to get the cherries is actually this online spirits retailer. Actually, I think they have wines too. In fact, the name of the business is Nick's Wine Merchants, but they have genuinely good specials on spirits. And so it's like, I might go and get a few more of the things that are on special to, and then get the cherries as well. So I get no postage. One Pet Shop Boys to listen to. Oh my God. That was on the album Very. And I got a limited edition of that had a second disc that was remixes, and there's a really good remix. I love their version of Go West because, of course, it was originally a Village People. But I love how they switch it up in it because most of it's like this chorus, like a choir doing Go West, and Neil Tennant doing his talking, singing, life is peaceful there. And then the choir, Go West in the open air. And they switch it up at the end where it's Neil Tennant just going, Go West. And the chorus going, life is peaceful there in the open. I'm a super bad singer. It's also very easy to encourage me to do some bad singing. No one encouraged me then, and I just did it. But yes, I'm generally a fan of the Pet Shop Boys. I do like Go West. Yeah, it was originally a Village People song back in the 70s. Um, thanks, Heine. That is higher than I rate my own singing. And I was mucking around there. I appreciate your support, Heine. Madam Butterfly, craziness can cure COVID. Actually, I think you could wake me up, definitely. Probably in a way that I wouldn't appreciate. But you know, medicine, sometimes it's tough medicine. Genuinely, I have thought multiple times I would actually like to go to a voice coach to be able to sing properly. I was a really good voice soprano, then my voice broke, and I really had no voice training since then. And I'm glad you think I have pitch because I'm not sure myself. Oh, that's a punchy old fashioned. Oh man, I like a punchy old fashioned. Damn. Sometimes, like you get an old fashioned in a pub, it's too sweet or something, and but it's still usually good. That one because the whiskey I used, it's it's really punchy. I really like it. The Pet Shop Boys did a few good cover versions. I particularly like they did "Where the Streets Have No Name," the U2 song, and it's probably from the it's like from the Joshua Tree where YouTube were taking themselves the most seriously. Like, we're serious. This is meaningful. Look at us posing on the album cover, high contrast black and white. We're serious. And the Pet Shop Boys turned it into a disco song. And it's really good. And they really take it because about halfway through, like, because you go, where the streets have no name. And then it just starts with this music. Da 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 da. And then and then he just breaks into I love you, baby. And if it's quite all right. And then it's a mashup of Where the Streets Have No Name and I Love You Baby. uh Fucking gold. It's really good. um that's from probably my favorite Pet Shop Boys era. But I mean, over the years, I mean, Being Boring is a great song. Now I want to, okay, I'm going to go and rank my favorite Pet Shop Boys songs. Like, if I just do a search on best Pet Shop Boys songs, what do people say? Okay, 47 songs. Let's go. Early ones like It's a Sin, Opportunities, Let's Make Money, Love Come Quickly. What Have I Done to Deserve That? I like all of those, but then we hit Being Boring, which is definitely one of my favorites. West End Girls, that's fine. That's one of the real ones. Go West, which is good. Left to My Own Vices, that's fine. Domino Dancing, Heart, Rent, So Hard. Can You Forgive Her? That's a fun one. Not my favorite, though. Oh, their cover of Always on My Mind was quite good as well. As the original one, See Vita A, That's the Way Life Is. I like that one. I mean, I basically like all their stuff. Suburbia, The Theatre, Yesterday When I Was Mad, Dreaming of the Queen. Trying to think, is there a good one that I've forgotten? Wouldn't normally do this kind of thing. That's fun. Pananara is a fun one that not everyone knows. Let me go. I love this as a song title. Love is a Bourgeois Construct. New Bohemia, which is a new one, which is actually quite good. Those released last year. Yeah, Where the Streets Have No Name. I mentioned it's all right. After the Event. Single Bilingual. Liberation. I love that one. That's from early 90s. The Guardian has a thing. Pet Shop Boys 30 greatest song. Truck Driver and His Mate, Yesterday When I Was Mad, Integral, Shameless, Heart, Flamboyant, Dreaming of the Queen, Will of the Beast, Pandemonium, Suburbia, Opportunities, It's a Sin, Home and Dry. You only tell me you love me when you're drunk. Pop Kids, Visible. I think they're trying to be hipsters. Jealousy, What Have I Done to Deserve This? Rent, Left to My Own Devices, West End Girls. What's their number one? Oh shit. They agree with me. Now I feel basic. Being Boring is their best song. Now I feel basic because The Guardian did an article and said Being Boring was their best song. Just a basic bitch. Damn. That's got something to it. Yeah. So somehow we got onto the Pet Shop Boys, but that's all good. Been a Pet Shop Boys fan from way back. And on the Discord, Strictly Sega posted some pictures. I'm not sure where they come from, but it's a car with the license plate Neurospicy, which I reckon on message for this stream, quite honestly, with our various Neurospicy folk. Thank you, Harry. I was feeling like I was a basic bitch. You've made me feel better. Well, it was always fun going through my old vinyl and old CDs and finding stuff that I had completely forgotten. Oh, God, I could almost do a podcast about it. Go through my old vinyls and go, retrospective, what's this like? I haven't listened to this since the 80s. Let's go through it and see what I think of it. Man, Butterfly, 80s or 90s? Yeah, you were a fucking baby in the 80s. The 80s were my formative years. So there's music from the 80s that I still love that is the absolute top of my thing. And again, it's funny. We used to shit talk people who worship the 60s in the 80s, but me going, no, man, the 80s is like someone in the 80s going, no, man, the 1940s. It's like, oh my God, I'm so fucking old. Grandpa Simpson. I used to be like that. I think I was with it, but then they changed what it was, and it became scary and frightening to me. It happened to me. It'll happen to you. But I still like contemporary music too, so. Yes, Safi, you missed me. I actually talked about it a bit earlier. Heine brought up foods for dinner. I cooked up some onion, mushroom, garlic, sausage. It's fucking great, honestly. Chicken risotto. That's a nice choice too. Harry loved the collection. Used to collect the 9 Inch Nails Halos. Left it all Louisiana at your parents. Yeah. I just found stuff in boxes. And it's cool. Yeah, no, stuff's good. And also I sort of turned it into a casserole. I added a sort of slightly spicy tomato sauce to it and a cream sauce on top and put cheese on it and baked it. So it's like a casserole. It's fucking yum. And there's a fucking shit ton of it. That's at least 2 more meals. So I feel like if you're asking me on Thursday what I had for dinner, I'm probably going to be saying the same thing because I made so friggin' much of it. I guess I could freeze it. Fuck, maybe I should do that. Freeze it, and then I just have something different over the next couple of days, and then occasionally just break it out and microwave it. Heine, you got Sin City. Oh, nice. Oh, the graphic novel for The Hard Goodbye, DVD bonuses, movie without green screen. Okay, that sounds good value. Dude, I might still be eating it on Friday if I don't roll with this idea of freezing it. Harry, you used to listen to oldies with your mum when you were young. Your dad liked old blues music. Oh, Motown stuff is so good. And again, in the 80s, I would have been too hipster to really appreciate Motown, but the Motown stuff is so good. Like there was, again, when you're getting into like blues and soul stuff from the 40s, 50s, 60s, hot damn, there's some good stuff. $5, that's a hell of a score, honey. That sounds friggin' super good value. Well, yeah, but you know what am I gonna say, Safra? I'm a boring guy. But yeah, that's why I was thinking just while we were talking about it, going, oh man, maybe I'll freeze it. And then you know, next week thaw it out. Nice, Madam Butterfly, freezer food Fridays. I love alliteration. So I'm completely on board with freezer food. No, I haven't been getting U-Foods for a little while, actually. I am thinking of getting back into either U-Foods or Light and Easy. I also have, some of that, powdered shake stuff, meal replacement stuff. To make it back into having that for lunch. So many choices. So many, many choices. You know what? I'm seriously leaning towards freezing the thing I made today and saving it and then just, crack it out next week. Because it was really fucking good. Like, it was super yummy. I really liked it. Oh, no, not Up and Go. That's the pre-made things. Although those, do they really say they're meal replacements? Yeah, you get the powdered things, you make them. Celtic. Well, I could potentially have too many choices. I haven't taken any of them yet. So, yeah. So I think about it. Tomorrow, I might think about it. Who knows? We'll see. We shall see what we see. Ugh. I got some shit to get organized tomorrow. I've had this for a long time. It's not in the first batch, but I've certainly had this for years, and it's really different to any of the other shirts I have. I do love all the little glasses on it. I love the variety between the shirts. What did we watch last night? We started watching The Rig season 2. That's on Prime. It's a British show. We did watch season 1. It's super fucking weird. These people on an oil rig in the North Sea off the coast of England, and weird shit starts happening. And it gets super weird. And in this episode, the people who survived the weird shit in the first season have gone to the Arctic, to the North Pole, to try and discover the source of the weird shit. And there's all this sort of corporate fuckery. There's a lot of extremely unsubtle messaging that I'm on board with. Yeah, man, but you got to love the planet, man. You can't ruin the planet. There's no spoiler. Weird shit happens. I didn't get any more specific than weird shit happens. And some people don't survive it. But that's just it's kind of like a haunted house thing, actually, with the weird shit. The fog comes in. So weird shit happens. And now they're trying to find out the source of the weird shit. And there's all this corporate fuckery going on. Yeah, we were doing that. It is a good shirt. It's its own sort of thing. The mood, the vibe. Yeah, I'm giving the mood, and I'm spoiling the vibe. The vibe is it's spooky. So I've done a spoiler for the vibe. Oh, I absolutely friggin' agree, Harry. It is no wonder the people who work on those drilling rigs get paid a lot, because I'm under the impression they get paid a lot. Because fuck that. There's so much chance for something to go wrong, even without supernatural stuff. And you're so isolated, and God, the risk of just losing it and going nuts must be high. So, yeah, I am under the impression the people who work on those rigs are paid really well, because they freaking deserve to be paid really well. My God. Yeah, you're certainly at the mercy of the elements on those rigs in the open ocean, and the drilling operations are so dangerous. I mean, it's not even getting into like, oh, are they a good idea from an ecological point of view? Because you all know I'm a bleeding heart hippie and that sort of stuff, but even just leaving that aside, it's friggin' dangerous stuff. All right, gonna be a good boy and have a mineral water. All right, I got my big glass of ice. It's been melting. I'm going to drink the water. Drinking problem. Half of that missed my mouth. Ooh, now I'm all wet. Oh, no. That's the fucking the propaganda thing. A landman. I've gotten sick of that guy. Like, I don't know that I'm ever going to go back to Yellowstone. Like, I like his first couple of movies, Hell or High Water and Sicario. And we did watch both seasons of Lioness, which is this weird fucking CIA and US military intervention propaganda that would just randomly, oh, let's just throw in some transphobic bullshit in the middle. I think the guy, Taylor Sheridan, who makes all those shows, Yellowstone, 1933, 1883, Tulsa King with fucking Sylvester Stallone. I think he's clever because he populates the cast with women in strong roles, non-white people in strong roles, queer people in strong roles. So it's like you can't just say, oh, you're just a white supremacist right-wing dickhead. But then he just puts all this fucked in the head right-wing propaganda in an incredibly unsubtle way. And like, it's not clever. It's like, oh my God. You got Sylvester Stallone talking about pronouns. It's like, that's so fucking hack. So I particularly like, there are prequels to Yellowstone that if they get another season, I'll definitely watch it. The 1933 and 1883 were both more interesting than Yellowstone, I think, although Yellowstone's his huge hit. But man, he just keeps fucking churning it out. And I have not watched any of Landman, which is the oil propaganda one. But I've seen a bunch of people say it's just got ridiculous, easily debunked horseshit that's, anti-renewable, pro-oil. Hey, anything you watch on Paramount US version of Ghosts, Random South by? Oh, they had the Star Trek stuff. I fucking love the Star Trek stuff they have. Might watch the UK Ghost. Do you like the US one? I haven't watched it yet. It looks interesting, though. Yeah, Sylvester Stallone's a Trumpy. Like, I watched a couple episodes of Tulsa King to try and get into it, but Sylvester Stallone's acting is fucking terrible. And there's a few Sylvester Stallone movies that I like that I think his acting's pretty good in, but his acting in Tulsa King is bad, and the script is embarrassingly hacky. The script for Tulsa King is terrible. But yeah, Sylvester Stallone's acting in Tulsa King is pretty fucking cringy. It's not good. Yeah, Harry, that's literally what he's doing. He's doing some Trumpy, I'm the Trumpy face of Hollywood thing. It's like, fuck. Lower Decks was so good. And I love the Strange New Worlds series. I'm so hanging out for the new season of that. And there was a Strange New Worlds Lower Decks crossover episode that was so good. It was so funny. If ever want to do an ASMR video, I thoroughly plan to do a cocktail ASMR video. So it would be, the sounds would be like the glug 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 from a long necked bottle, stirring ice, just the clink clink clink. What else? What are the other cocktail noises? Maybe just the noise of something pouring, like, but slow mo, pouring something into a cocktail glass, so it's splush, splush, splush. First Blood's your favorite Stallone film. Not saying much. That is a pretty good film, actually. Some of the Rocky movies are good. I also think he's good in Creed, which are like the Rocky spin-offs. He's done some good stuff. He's done a shit ton of really ordinary stuff too. Like even the Rocky movies. The Rocky movies range from good to really bad. But you know, was it since the 70s? So, like, you know, he's been doing stuff for nigh on 50 years. Oh, excellent question, Celtic. Favorite Stallone movie? Because I don't care that much about Stallone to really be into it. Like, I would probably seriously be going back to the original Rocky for a favorite Stallone movie. I don't know if anyone else... First Blood is definitely a pretty good movie. I love the naming convention of them. Like, his First Blood was a novel, and I've actually read the novel. So they bought the rights to the novel and made the movie. So it's not a novel version of the movie. It's an original novel, which the movie diverges a fair bit, but you can see that it's in there. So the first one with Rambo is called First Blood, the movie. And then the second one is called Rambo, First Blood Part 2. And by the time they did a third one, they realized Rambo was good branding. So the third one's actually called Rambo 3, even though it's Rambo 2, First Blood 3. But the branding is right. They were absolutely right that Rambo was the good branding. Yeah. I'm leaning towards the original Rocky, which, again, Sylvester Stallone's first lead. He had a non-speaking role as an extra in a Woody Allen film. He was a thug on a train. That may or may not have been his first screen appearance. I love watching old movies, like 60s or 70s movies, and then you see someone who became a star and you go, oh, I think this is the first time they were on screen. There's not even a speaking bit. Another one that springs to mind is the original Death Wish, the old Charles Bronson movie. It was not that long ago, probably about a couple of years ago. I saw it was on and I watched it. I thought, I've never actually watched Death Wish. I'm going to sit down and watch this. And the bad guys who attack his family, which is what sends the Charles Bronson character on his revenge murder spree. There's three, ne'er-do-well thugs. One of them's Jeff Goldblum. I think it may have been Jeff Goldblum's first screen role. You liked Rambo 4. I don't think I've seen all of any of the Rambo films. I've seen all of First Blood. I don't think I've seen any of the Rambo ones. I've seen bits of them. I don't think I've sat through an entire Rambo movie. Like, I watch a shit ton more Schwarzenegger than Stallone. Peak Arnie is my fucking jam. Terminator, Raw Deal, Commando, Predator. Peak Arnie, 90s Arnie. I fucking love it. Kindergarten Cop. Like, he does comedy so well. Kindergarten Cop, Twins. I fucking love that shit. Oh, Madam Butterfly, you're all keeping me fighting the sleepiness here. About 6 o'clock, like, I got home. I actually made dinner rather than just microwaving something. And I was like, oh God, I feel so fucking tired now. I literally didn't know how long. I still don't know how long I'm going to go tonight, actually. But, you know, we're going to see what happens. Would it be okay? Celtic asked Heine how he was, and it's actually a few months of relatively poor health but healing. Oh, dude, well, boo to the months of poor health, yay to the getting better. Okay, so you never finished 2 and 3, but you got into 4. Okay, well, it's funny how that works. Oh, way more an Arnold fan than Stallone fan. There's relatively few Stallone movies I've watched beginning to end, but I've watched a friggin' heap of, like, just really cheesy Arnie films and fucking loved them. Like, Commando it's got such good lines. Like, when the bad guys have got him and they tell him what they're going to do, and there's a character called Sully. He goes, I like you, Sully. You're funny. I'll kill you last. It's like a great line. And then when he eventually catches the guy and he's trying to get information out of him, and he's holding him upside down over a cliff. He's holding him by the ankle over a cliff, saying, tell me what I want to know. And the guy's freaking out and he's going, better tell me, Sully. Oh, my arm feels weak. My arm feels weak. And the guy tells him what he wants to know, and he goes, hey, Sully, remember when I said I'd kill you last? And Sully's going, that's right. You said you were going to kill me last. He goes, I lied. And lets him go and kills him. And then he goes back to, it's Ray Dawn Chong who's in that, is Tommy Chong's daughter of Cheech and Chong fame. And he gets back to her by himself, and she says, what did you do with Sully? He goes, I let him go. Also, Cheech and Chong just brought to mind a couple of weeks ago. So I was like chilling out on the weekend, flicking through. I was going, I'm going to settle down. I was like, Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke was on. And I thought, like, this came out when I was in high school, or even before I was in high school. And it was the, like, stoner movie of the 70s. And I thought, I've never actually properly watched it, but I've heard all bits of it. And I didn't watch it fully, but I watched a fair chunk of it. And 2 takeaways from it. This, like, the cinematography and editing, like the way the film's made, is much better and much more professional and proficient than I expected. Like, it's a really well shot and edited movie. The script is just silly stoner shit. I think you basically have to be stoned to really enjoy it. But like, it's stoner shit and overacting. But I was genuinely surprised. I was looking at how well it was shot and edited and thought, I did not know they put this much effort into the shooting and editing of a stoner movie. Harry, you saw Rambo 4 in theaters. 2 and 3 had to go out of their way to watch, couldn't get into them. Yeah, no, First Blood's definitely good. It's just, even the concept of First Blood is good. The Vietnam veteran suffering from PTSD who can't hold down a job, so he's just roaming around, and some shithead small town sheriff fucks with him, and so he fucks back. There's a line: "Is they drew first blood, man." And fun fact: the guy who wrote First Blood, calling the character Rambo, John Rambo, that was a joke about the pronunciation of the French philosopher Rimbaud. When you see it written, it looks like Rimbaud, but he's French. That's Rimbaud. And this guy did literature and philosophy at uni, and he'd studied Rimbaud. And so just for a joke, he had this violent action character whose name's pronounced the same, Rambo. Love Cheech and Chong, tried what to buy. Yes, not a thing I've done, but yeah. Okay, so I'm not sure what you're asking there, Safa. If you are talking about effects, the older films relied on practical effects because they didn't have the technology for modern digital effects. I feel like the majority of the time you can tell when a film is using physical effects versus digital effects, and there's just something about physical effects and stunts that feels better. And yeah, film grain is one thing, but I mean, films looked really different when they turned color. They looked different in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. I think it's weird that some people worship film grain, but sometimes with digital stuff, and you know what does suck? TVs that use what's known as motion smoothing. They make movies look like they were shot. They give the movies all these really sharp edges, makes them look like they were shot on video under really harsh lights. Like it looks like cheap soap opera shit. It looks terrible. If you have the wrong setting on your modern TV, all films are going to look like shit. You have to turn that motion smoothing off. It has some value if you are watching sports on TV, but not films. It makes films look shit. So black circle. Again, your typing's letting you down there. Yeah, anyone sensible should turn off motion smoothing because it makes movies look terrible, or even high-end TV shows look terrible. Like I was in a JB once, and they had one of those huge fuck-off screens, just like ridiculously big. And it was one of the Avengers movies, like one of the last ones, like Infinity War or Endgame. So like really high-end effects. But they had motion smoothing on, and it looked so fucking cheap because everything had these hard edges. And like I said, it just feels like old TV that is shot on video under really harsh lights. Looks fucking terrible. Yes, Suffer, good for games. It can be good for watching sport on TV, good for video games. I watch almost no sport on TV, Kelsey. Almost none. Yeah, no, the artificial motion smoothing absolutely makes movies look like shit. And so many people don't realize it's fucking up their movie watching experience. Even though I don't get hangovers, do I get bed spins? Okay, so like, say I do a big Friday night. I don't really get it. You know, when people say hangovers, I'm dying. The worst I usually get is I feel tired and I'm just a bit off. I spend the whole day going, there must be something that will make me feel better. And I usually resort to eating junk food. Um, so, but I don't get that. Oh, I got a headache. I'm going to vomit. I feel like shit. I really don't get that. My own movie. I mean, I'm a big sci-fi fan. If I was making a movie, it'd probably be sci-fi or fantasy. Harry, you notice when we visited the UK, TVs look different. People had motion smoothing on. Yeah, it's just freaking people do. Yeah, Celtic, I'm with you. I almost never watch sport. Michael, how are you doing? We're out here thrill seeking thrills, that's for sure. No, it's not just sport. Australian rules football. And hate's probably too strong a word. I just don't give a shit about it. And I do not drink coffee at all. I don't like it. It makes me somewhat of a pariah in Melbourne. AFL's like fucking religion here. And for people who don't like AFL, coffee's their religion. I don't like either. So I'm going with the third religion in Melbourne, cocktails. That's it exactly, Harry. It looks like cheap soap opera shit. It's like it's shot on a budget, really harsh light. It's terrible. Michael, cheese and bacon. Nice. That's your hangover stuff? Cheese and bacon shapes? Nice. I always, after, because we normally do a big Friday night on this stream, my Saturday morning is almost always a bacon sandwich. Like I will go to the trouble of making it. And if I've got it together on Friday, to get a sourdough baguette from my favorite bakery, because it's just the fucking best. Shout out to Woodfrog Bakery. They've got outlets across Melbourne. Yeah, all these fucking people who should sponsor me because I mentioned how good their stuff is. But yeah, Woodfrog Bakery, just fucking legit good. But yeah, bacon sandwich on sourdough baguette. Madam Butterfly, you don't do coffee? Yeah, hot chocolate. Like literally today, like I got a new person on my team, and we're working with another team, so we were catching up with other people. And holy shit, like we were. I should put a picture on the Discord. We were in this building, and it's like another office building that wasn't far away. Neither of us work in it, but they said, "Oh no, there's this building over there. There's a cafe on the 18th floor, and it's got a really good view." I should put it on Discord, actually, because it is a really good view. Let me do that while we're talking. Wait, I'm hitting the wrong thing on here. Le Discord. Where will I put it? On... Oh, nice. Heine put the DVD of Sin City on there. Nice. I think I'll put it in. We've got sightseeing pics here, I think. There it is. Oh, well, Musical Aviator hasn't posted anything for about a month. I wonder what he's up to. Okay, but I am going to post these cafe views. And then I can actually share them on here, I guess. I think the building's taller than 18 floors. I'll share the pictures. Sajuk, hey, cheese and bacon croissant. Hell yes. You a sports ball person, Michael? Some nice tea for Christmas. Nice. Loogie, your body's not happy. You got drunk, celebrating someone to get moving you. Sound of that. Oh, no. Oh, Loogie paying for it. Anyway, they should be on the Discord now. Sightseeing pics. Where are we? Okay, so there's two pictures of the view. I'll show you. This is like a general picture of the view, which is pretty nice. So you can see the MCG over there and buildings and the gardens. But there's also... Oh, no, wait, I think I showed them in the order to mean. Okay, so that's like a general view of the buildings and the MCG. You can see there. But then I took one show up because I think that's Treasury Gardens down there. And all that greenery just in the middle of the city is nice. That's Parliament. You're looking at Parliament there. You got the Treasury building and the Parliament buildings down there. I think that garden's called Treasury Gardens. Not 100% sure, though. You've indulged in your old love. Oh, Canadian whiskey. Nice. Harry, sorry, a question. Love random questions, mate. Episode of Rick and Morty where they go... I actually did. Yeah, that's like on YouTube. And an Australian animator did it. And it's over the top, just fucking weird and wacky. Yes. If I remember rightly, Australian animators did that. Don't like how much news. Yeah, I know. Australia's kind of sports obsessed. It is true. Oh, thanks, Michael. You're confirming that's Treasury Gardens. Yeah, thank you. Okay, well, I'm in a totally different building. I'm on the 14th floor, though. Yeah, you're going to push me through the glass? I think they make that a little difficult. I think, it's a bit difficult to go through that glass. I don't want to try, mind you. Although I have to admit, this is a thought that's been in my head more than once. Like if you fall from a great height, like something that's going to take seconds for you to hit the ground, whether it's 5 or 20 seconds to hit the ground, the thought has been in my head way more than once in the past, like, what would that be like? You're falling and you've got enough time to go, I'm definitely going to die. Nice, Retro. You work from home and get views of your cat. I have posted a lot of views of my work from home, particularly when Mrs. Angry's orchids are flowering. It's very nice. Yeah, Saju. It's kind of a prerequisite for buildings like that with floor-to-ceiling glass. It's difficult to smash through the glass. Treasury Gardens has a statue of JFK. And the other side of Parliament is Captain Cook's cottage, which is super weird that someone took it apart in England, stone by stone, moved it over here and put it back together in Melbourne. That is so weird. So friggin' weird. Actually, my side of the building, not such a great view. We just see other buildings. But the other side of the floor I'm on, which, I can go there for one. It actually has views of Treasury Gardens from a different angle. Not as good as that one I was showing. It's further away. Yep. Grandparents on the 13th floor. Oh my God, I had a friend was on about the 40th floor of Eureka Tower. Oh, we have weird shit. There was a pub here in Melbourne that had a stained glass window tribute to JFK. It's weird. Australians get very weird sometimes. Now, 3 days in the office is kind of normal. That's my work, 3 days with a bit of flexibility. 5 days. Oh, and you haven't asked your other default question, Safa. Was it busy in the city? Okay, I went downstairs to get lunch today, and it was fucking pandemonium. So many people. I was down with one of my coworkers, and we were like, "There's a fuckload of people here, isn't there?" Like we get those. Well, I don't know if you do know, but you get a lot in Melbourne. A lot of different food places in like a laneway type thing. That's where I work, and fuck me, there were a lot of people about. we were just going, oh, it's back to the old days, isn't it? This is a lot of people. Cedric, your 5th floor view from the lab is the other side of the river in Berlin. But from home, 5 minutes to Victory Column Tea Garden. Nice. No. My understanding of Captain Cook's cottage is it was literally his cottage in England, and someone took it apart stone by stone. And Michael, please correct me if I'm wrong here, because I could easily could be. They brought it over here and then rebuilt it stone by stone, which I think is absolutely freaking. Oh yeah, 40th floor on Eureka Tower was wild. Yeah, I just thought I'd feel like literally when I was with my teammate and we were marveling at the fucking crowds, I went, I'm going to have to tell Safa about this tonight. Because it was fucking pandemonium. Madam Butterfly, guy in Canada fell out the window, the 20th floor. Oh my God, my favorite fucking Darwin Award winner. And this, I've looked up, this appears to be a true story. It was some really big high-rise building, and it was just all glass, right? Floor-to-ceiling glass all around. It was like some very prestigious law firm, and someone started, and they were like, all the glass makes me nervous. I feel like it's going to fall out. And one of the executives is like, it's completely safe. And he starts banging on the glass, and someone's going, oh, please stop that. And he's going, no, it's totally safe. And he threw himself at the glass, and the whole fucking panel came out, and he went out like from 40 floors up, just ooh, batam. And that's apparently a true story. No, Captain Cook didn't have a cottage in Sydney. He never lived in Australia. His boat came here, and he kept sort of scooting around on boats and got killed in Hawaii. Haha, you colonizing fuck. No, he never had a cottage in Australia, which is why having a Captain Cook's cottage here in Melbourne is so weird. Harry, some Australians believe a lot of random American propaganda, lots of misinformation. Well, thank you, Harry. Yeah, Trump and the whole being a felon thing. Yeah, it is very fucking weird. Yeah, it's, dude, you're stuck there. What are you going to fucking do? And it's just like, I'm not really one of those people who advocate leave the country. I mean, if you actually feel unsafe, yeah, but well, technically he was a captain. I think Flinders was his navigator. He was a sailor. But yeah, he overestimated the reverence he would receive from the Hawaiian people because he had been there before. And they'd apparently had enough of his shit and caved his fucking head in with a big club. Should have happened to a few more colonists. No, again, I'm willing to be corrected, but I feel extremely confident Cook never went to the US. I mean, he obviously could have, but when he was doing all his shit, the Revolutionary War was already happening. So Cook was a Southern Hemisphere explorer, I think. Yeah, Luigi, I'm almost sure he didn't, because the Revolutionary War had already happened when Cook was doing his shit. Retro, we are talking about Captain James Cook. You often get this ridiculous propaganda in Australia. He discovered Australia. He was not even the first white person to land here. Michael, the cottage was a gifted family for discovering Australia. Invited to dinner in Tahiti. Yeah, I think he went to Tahiti more than once, I think. And he went to Hawaii more than once. He went to Hawaii one too many times. And he misunderstood the mood of the native people because they fucked him up. Not saying it should happen to more colonizers, but it should happen to more colonizers. Basically. Hulele. So yeah, I love that we, again, never apologize for random questions. Whatever takes us in whatever direction is good stuff. So I was just going to share this thing. He went to Hawaii at least twice. He went to Hawaii one time too many, though. Lugi, you watched a vid on Batavia. That's all you know about Aussie naval. I don't even know that, man. Sure, I find this interesting. The thing that Heine shared about the disc of Sin City. All right, so you can see that. I'm going to zoom in. I do love the art style. Frank Miller is a dodgy motherfucker, but I do love the art style in Sin City and 300. But yeah, like the disc, original theatrical release, all new feature commentary with Robert Rodriguez and Frank Miller. That actually sounds good. All new feature commentary with Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. God, that actually sounds good. An audio track featuring a recording of the Austin audience reaction, which is fun. How it went down, convincing Frank Miller to make the film. Special guest director Quentin Tarantino. A hard top with a decent engine. The cars of Sin City. Booze, broads, and guns. The props of Sin City. Making the monsters. Special effects makeup. Trench coat and fishnets. Costumes of Sin City. Synchronicity. There's an interactive game. Neat. Teasers and trailers. Disc 2. Recut and extended theatrical release. Nice. Then Rodriguez special features. 15-minute film school with Robert Rodriguez. Good filmmaker. That'd be worth watching. Movie in high-speed green screen. The long take. 14 uninterrupted minutes of Tarantino segment. Sin City Live. Night at Antone's. 10-minute cooking school with Robert Rodriguez. That genuinely sounds like great packaging. Yeah, actually, I think they're both okay. I do prefer the first one, but I think they're both okay. So, graphic novel, playlist, dual case, one disc. Nice. Oh, yeah, Kelsey, I've thought about it heaps. I think I can safely say never going to happen, but that's why I make my short films, because they're easy to do. I can just do little things that are very easy. Need to watch Second Sin City. Well, the first one, the comic was good. Yeah. Frank Miller's a dodgy fucking guy, honestly. Stuff in my work building. Oh, well, you have to have stairs in a building as a safety thing. So yes, we do. That's the thing. I'm into sci-fi and fantasy. That or a porno, whatever took my fancy, as it was. I was thinking, because I did like the graphic novel of 300, which is actually quite different in a lot of ways to the movie. There's a lot of story elements in the graphic novel that aren't in the movie. But the thing that astounded me most, because what's the big moment in the movie? Leonidas kicking the emissary into the well screaming, "This is Sparta!" And that happens in the novel, but it's not a big thing. It's just like a little frame, and it's not from the movie. You'd expect it to be almost a full page graphic. Go, "This is Sparta." It's just like panel, panel, panel. Madness. This is Sparta. That was because I didn't read the graphic novel till after I'd seen the movie, so I was super surprised that big pivotal "This is Sparta" is not a big thing in the graphic novel. Are we still? Yeah, I know that fucking spot, man. Honestly, and it's not really like full on pimple, but that's what it is. It's a blemish. I don't know what it is. Mrs. Angry was worried I'd fallen over and hit my head. I go, no, it's just a fucking spot. Reliving my teenage years by getting a big fucking spot on my forehead. There's an art film called Elephant, made by Gus Van Sant. You like it? Make it feel like, have I seen Elephant? Because I've seen a lot of Gus Van Sant films. And I know of the film Elephant. I'm trying to think if I've watched it. I think maybe I haven't watched it. I'm aware of it, and I've watched quite a few Gus Van Sant films. I think it's basically acne, although it doesn't even feel, spot. I don't know. It's fucking weird. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's extremely weird to get a huge fucking red spot on my forehead, though. That honestly, is kind of behaving like a zit. But anyway, Michael been off work for 2 weeks. 2 weeks to go. Victim to the bureaucracy of STV. I'm not sure what that means. Although I did have 3 weeks off in January, which was fucking great. Didn't even do anything. Didn't go anywhere. Just did stuff around the house, and it just felt good. Now, this is only my second week back at work. And I was actually, talking with my boss today. And he's like, God, you're only just back and it feels full on, doesn't it? I went, yeah. Like, so much is happening. Like, it's not overwhelming. I'm doing fine. But it's like, damn, I just kind of came back from fucking leave and 0 to 100. Safe Transport Victoria. So, what was there an accident, or were you injured, or I'm a little confused, Michael, is all I'm saying. I'm probably not taking another long break until Christmas, January next year. In fact, Mrs. Angry and I liked taking 3 weeks in January so much, we're probably going to do it again. Save up leave and take 3 weeks in January again, because we really liked it. But, we'll see. I don't think I will take that much time off before Christmas anyway. Retro, 1 week off each month? Dude, I'd be fucking bang up for 1 week off each month. That sounds like an excellent deal. Stuck with 1 week off every 3 months. Well, I do love, in the last fucking award negotiations, the union went all in. Yeah, we should have 5 weeks leave and a 4-day work week and a pay rise. And I'm like, yeah, you go. Just throw everything at them and we'll get something. Oh, I think I maybe just answered that, Safa. 4 weeks annual leave, so you get 1 week every 3 months. So I have a bit of leave saved up, but I don't think I'll take more than a few days. Like, sometimes when there's public holidays, take extra days to get a longer break. But like, even like Easter and Anzac Day are close this year. Actually, let me double check. Because I think I know when Easter is. Easter 2025. Yes, April 20th. I thought so. So, like a fuck ton of people, if I look at the calendar, let's scoot to April. Okay. So, public holidays will be Monday, 21st, 22nd. Fridays, I reckon I'll take that whole week off. I'll take annual leave on the 23rd and 24th of April. So I'll take that whole, oh, yes, because we get Friday off, Friday the 18th. Oh, thanks for the reminder, Saf. I'm going to talk to Mrs. Angry about this. Paperwork sent to a wrong email address. Oh, okay. So you're not working while it gets sorted out. Okay, damn. Oh, I did. Yeah, that Fantastic Four trailer where they're going with the 60s vibe. And even the color scheme is like 60s. Like we were talking earlier about films look different in different decades. And they're going for Fantastic Four set in the 1960s. And the color scheme is like a 1960s film. When I take Monday, yeah, I'd be up for that. Jacob, you are the storm, man. You are the storm, my brother. Yeah, I'm going to have to remind Mrs. Angry we should take that week off. So we'll probably do some more house organizing in that week. Yeah, no, that's they're really going for a Jack Kirby vibe. Yeah, the thing looks like Jack Kirby's thing. They're full on going for that 1960s vibe. Yeah, there really hasn't been a good Fantastic Four film. Some of them haven't been terrible. There's a whole thing with who owns the rights to make Fantastic Four, and Sony had to keep releasing a film to keep the rights. So they definitely released some dodgy ones. I'm not at all surprised you know Chaos Magic, Jacob. To be honest, that fits. That fits with the little I know of you. And although you've not been joining the stream for long, our dearly departed regular collaborator, Aidsy, was a Chaos Magic person. He would have loved to have talked to you about Chaos. Will they do the classic eyes shot? Who knows? Yeah, so for a couple of the Fantastic Four films were okay. I like the one with Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, actually, and the one with the Silver Surfer. And I know this one has a good chance. It's like they're really going, let's do old school Fantastic Four, and it's got Galactus in it. Could be good. Could be good. I guess we shall see what they do with it. But, you know, that's that. What are we up to? 9:30. Do I want to pour myself a little drink? Maybe, baby. You enjoy the ones with Jessica Alba? Before you came out, you're into she just from a purely aesthetic viewpoint, she looks good. Seeing the new Fantastic Four comes out, yeah, you get summer blockbusters in America, which these days means winter for us. Although when I were a lad, stuff took so long to reach here from the US. Like their summer movies would literally not arrive here till our summer. 6 to 12 months wait for a film was really common. Same with TV shows. It would not be uncommon for us to be an entire season or multiple seasons behind the US with TV shows. It kind of became impossible to keep doing that with the internet. But in the 70s and 80s, it was a different goddamn world, I'll tell you what. Harry, we ban some violent stuff. Yes, there was a whole thing with banning video games here. It's less of a thing now because we got an adult rating, but there's a real sort of paranoia about video games. Madam Butterfly, you don't have to go to work coming Monday. Can't enjoy the extra sleep because even when you're drunk, you wake up at 6. I usually find it pretty easy to sleep in. Although last Saturday I woke up relatively early, didn't sleep in, and didn't even have a nap during the day. I had dinner at a pub with Mrs. Angry, and then slept pretty solidly on Saturday night. Nice memory, Michael. So Star Wars at Warrnambool Drive-In, 78. Where would I have seen it? Would I have gone to the drive-in? I do not have a clear memory of that. There was a cinema in Dubbo, and there was a drive-in. We did go to the drive-in a lot. I actually don't have a clear memory of if I saw it in the cinema or the drive-in. Robotnik. You just reminded me I haven't watched any of the Sonic movies up to Sonic 3. Lots of people like the Sonic movies. Maybe I should watch them. I haven't watched any of them. Oh, I want to actually taste something I haven't tasted for a while because I got delivered another bottle of it. There's a surprise. Oh shit, there's a lot of it. Okay, I'm going to have to use this in stuff. Bass and Flinders Cerise Gin. They're fruity gin. Because my mystery bottle that I was getting every 3 months arrived today. And it was another bottle of that gin, which I already have. You haven't watched the Sonic movies either? There you go. So you saw it at the drive-in about 3 months after it arrived in Australia. That kind of makes sense for a drive-in. Yeah, broadly the drive-in was cheaper because I think you got charged for the car, so you could just pile people into the car. Loogie, best hangover cure. Black tea, sugar, raw unfiltered honey. Damn. You're saying I look more like Robotnik than you? That's fair. You do actually, yeah. The honey you get in supermarkets has been filtered. Oh, nice. Okay, better than the Mario movie. Yeah, a lot of people like the Sonic movies. Let down by Chris Pratt Mario. Yeah, I think a lot of people felt like that. Oh Christ, I don't fucking know, Safa. Mum did a New Hope over in Australia. Could look it up, I guess, because it wasn't called A New Hope until it came out on video. Because he decided to, name the sequel not Star Wars 2. Give it a thing. A beekeeper, Jason Statham, is it? Oh yes, you mead maker. Yeah, we were talking about mead the other day because I found more of Mrs. Angry's mead, and that's really good. I don't know if I explained, or did I? I think I did. Her thing's always like used in a strong wine because she fermented her own wines. Like it's not flavored wine. She did it from base. The sauce is like things with a lot of sugar, like grapes, banana, and some other things to flavor, like honey in the case of mead. But I've got a beetroot wine and a lemon verbena wine here. And she said she's put all the stuff in there. She had the whole kit for fermenting and whatnot. And she said why hers is strong is because traditionally in the winemaking world, they let it ferment for a while till it hits a particular alcohol content that they want. and then they add something to it to kill the yeast so it doesn't ferment anymore. Mrs. Angry did not do that. She let it keep going until basically the alcohol content was high enough to kill the yeast. So these are more like fortified wines, and they do taste kind of somewhere between sherry and sweet vermouth. Teasing you with a good booze. Late night, drunk cub sexy. That's what it's all about, man. All right, I'm going to try this gin. I think I might use that in a clarified... Okay, you did actually look it up. New Hope debuted in Australia 27th October 1977. There is a huge ocean between us, Jacob. Fruity and a little bit bitter. Not bad. I think I will definitely use some of it. I'm going to make a clarified cocktail tomorrow. Are your new roommates sleeping through the alarm? Damn. Heine, so Star Wars Empire Strikes Back in the cinema when you were 3 and 6 years old. A little bit older than you, mate. AD, hello. Naturally sparking mead, fermenting it with champagne yeast, dry mead, natural sweetness of honey. Oh, okay, you got some friggin' mead fans here, AD. So there's a 3-month gap between the US and Australia. So there you go. But yeah, there was so much hype for Star Wars by the time it got here. Did I miss or make a sound? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Lukey. You got to get your chaos magic happening, Jacob. Become an albatross. They can fly across the whole ocean. I think albatrosses get altitude and they sleep and they just like a kite and they're just sailing. Jude, all you got here, sweetened vanilla nut coffee. I'm not a coffee fan. But again, I'd probably use that in a clarified cocktail too. Oh, right. Sorry. See, I'm trying to track too many conversations, Loogie. The annoying thing, your roommate's alarm, I bet it is. Julie, what's a well-known slow gin cocktail? Jacob. You could. He hates the guys. I think he hates a lot of people, mate. Good luck trying to control him. You know what? I am going to go on my Diffords and see archetypal slow gin cocktails. I'll do the share screen thing so you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Go Difford's guide. So I go to the cocktail finder and we want the base spirit. Fucking hell, what the fuck? Why did it do that? We got to get to S for slow gin. Oops, we missed it. Oh, really? Is it under, it's a subsection of gin, is it? Okay. Gin. Cherry, grapefruit, Old Tom, overproof. Why is slow gin not here? For fuck's sake. Gin, aged celery, cherry, grapefruit, navy, Old Tom, overproof, sage forward, spiced. But there must be slow gin recipe. Why is there not slow? I'm confounded. All right, I'll go with fucking cherry gin. Fuck you, Simon Difford. There's only 2 recipes. Cherry Martinez. I'm almost out of sweet vermouth. I can't afford to use up my sweet of vermouth. Although that does sound pretty good, honestly. Cherry Springer. I love puns. Cherry gin, creme de menthe, cherry brandy, lemon juice. It doesn't sound that great to me, but I love puns in a name. Cherry Springer. That is such a good, stupid cocktail name. Yes, sloe gin is from the sloe berry or the blackthorn. Ah, the guy selling the albatross. The Hollywood Bowl, yes. Albatross. Monty Python live at the Hollywood Bowl. That was a hell of a thing. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking go slow gin cocktails. Okay, he's got some slow gin cocktail recipes. Insanely good recipes. Are they? Yeah, okay. Now, that fucking search thing, here's the thing for Difford's Guide with 20 slow gin cocktails. What the fuck? Honestly. God damn it. Why are you fucking with me, Simon Difford? What did I ever do to you? Okay, fuck off that pop-up ad. Ah, Blackthorn. That's the number one. Yeah, okay. Slow gin, sweet vermouth, dry vermouth. Yeah. Slow gin, dry vermouth. No. Slow gin, dry gin, vermouth. Yeah, I need a backup bottle of sweet vermouth for Christmas Negroni, gin, vermouth. Oh, I could use, yes, I could fucking do that. Ah. I'm getting ideas now. Well, this one's got absinthe in it. Just an absinthe rinse, though. Lawrence, dry gin, slow gin. They want me to use my fucking vermouth, honestly. Sherry? Yeah, we could do some with sherry, definitely. Although I maybe need to get another bottle of sherry, too. Ocean Shore, gin, slow gin, lemon juice. Maybe. Persephone, apple jack, which is apple brandy. Red rum martini. Aged rum, slow gin. Lemon juice, vanilla syrup. Damn. A San Francisco, slow gin, dry vermouth, sweet vermouth. Slow gin, fizz, slow. Okay. You know what? There are some ideas there. I might make something tomorrow. The hug. Jacob into the hugging. Nice. What will I have for breakfast? I mean, probably a fucking protein bar because I feel very lazy. Red rum. Yeah, well, that's the pun. Red rum from the Kubrick movie, The Shining. Red rum. Red rum. Yes. The Irish use their blackthorn to make shillelaghs. There is a guy on YouTube who makes shillelaghs. And what's a shillelagh, you ask? It's a stick for hitting people over the fucking head with. That's what it is. It's a combat stick. You pretend it's a walking stick, but it's a fucking combat stick. Hit people in the goddamn head with it. The train was... I tell you what, here's a weird thing I've noticed. Yesterday and today, the train car park was far more sparsely populated than I'm used to at the time I get there. And when I got there this afternoon, there were actually some empty spaces, which almost never happens. But the train was reasonably crowded. Not like old school crowded, but I feel like there were more people on the train than there have been recently. But weirdly, my station's car park thing. Actually, there was. I have some stuff from Toby, which I forgot to bring in. I'll try and remember to bring in on Thursday or Friday what wacky stuff Toby sent me this time. So the Irish blackthorn used to make shillelaghs. Used to have one. Use it as a cane. and concealed weapon. But someone, oh no, someone stole your shillelagh. Oh, that fucking sucks. Damn. Never trust the USA CDC. All right. I'm loving your non sequiturs, Jacob. That's very good. Jude, Rich got a shillelagh for a birthday gift. Extreme difference in climate caused the wood to dry and split. Yes, I can actually see that. Vegas is so dry. Oh my God, my skin dried out so much when I was in Vegas. It's just so much that I remember. I can never travel there alone because what I learned the hard way is I need someone to put lotion on my back because, like, I was wearing sunscreen, but I can't fucking reach my back. I dried out so much. One day, just as I was sweating because it's so fucking hot there, my skin had started to crack and the sweat ran into the cracks in my skin and it fucking hurt. So yeah, then, but I was with my girlfriend, so it was easy to get, but I didn't realize I needed to rub lotion in my back because I was wearing a shirt the whole time, but it's just so dry, it dried out my skin. So hot tip, don't go to Vegas alone because you need someone to rub lotion into your back. Is Vegas scary? I mean, it can be. I didn't see anything scary. I was with locals when I was there. So I had fun. I'm going to put a little bit more sugar in that, actually. So you just generally never trust anything in the States, Jacob. Okay. I'm going to take your... we are evil. Yeah, I'm just going to take your advice, Jacob. That's okay. And that is also fair, Jude. Any big tourist city can be pretty scary. Oh, excellent, Michael. I agree. The wee folk will get the people who stole your shillelagh, Loogie. Just rest assured, the Fae will get them. Guys, just making me think of American Gods. Whereas, yes, the leprechaun, because actually in traditional Irish mythology, the leprechauns weren't actually small. That is Vegas rules. Loogie, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Forget about it. Jacob laying down the truth for the US. Anything we say, do the opposite. Oh, dear. No, you do not fuck with the Fae. Again, that's my heritage is Irish. I love the Irish folk tales and the other world and all those things. So, Jude, the air quality in the desert's been poor for. Oh no, that's bad. Is it pollution or the desert dust? Because the desert dust can be freaking brutal. I remember years ago, like literally 5 years ago, we had exceptionally bad bushfires in Victoria. The smoke was reaching Melbourne. We've had bad bushfires this summer, but they've been actually much further away from Melbourne, and the smoke hasn't reached us. But yeah, when the fires were like, they were 100 kilometers away, but that's close enough for the smoke to reach us. And your eyes would sting and you'd kind of forget, but then you would like blow your nose and there'd be black stains on the fucking tissue because of the soot. You cease to be conscious of the fact you're breathing in this soot. Yes, no, the Fae are definitely not to be trusted, Jacob. I think some of them hate humans. I think some of them just have fun fucking with humans. So it's the desert dust has been bad, but also Oh yeah, no smoke fallout from California. Those fires are so bad. I bet you would. We are this summer. We have had on some of the days, depending on the wind direction, some smoke haze around sunset. But 5 years ago, the air quality in Melbourne was so shit. Like I said, it's a real revelation when you blow your nose and you leave black stains on the tissue. It's like, oh, this is probably not good. That's some nasty shit. And I remember back in the 80s when I was in Sydney, it got fucking ringed by bushfires. Like the outer suburbs were having fires go through. And some on the north side, because there's like national parks not that far away from North Sydney, and the fire was coming through the national park. So it wasn't that far from suburbs and whatnot. And we were just getting these freakishly orange sunsets. Jacob lost. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's as good an explanation as any, Jacob. Los Angeles fires were because demon and fae betrayals. Used to get black tissues staying with your smoking grandparents for it. Yeah, that'll do it too. Depends on which court's in power. Some of the court of the wind. There you go. Michael knows his fae legends. I forget the exact time. It was late 80s. It's just bad. Also, good advice, Jacob. Don't betray nature. Stay in balance. Again, I just said that out loud phonetically. I get what you're saying. Eucalyptus, real spelling, actually quite different. Yes, we fucked over LA by convincing them to plant eucalypts, which don't do well on the hills there. They explode in the fires. Whoops. Whoopsie. Sorry, LA, for convincing you to grow fast-growing eucalypts that actually fucking explode in your wildfires. For those who don't know, eucalyptus trees, gum trees, have a quite flammable oil in them. And what would happen, because of the steep hills in LA, they got all these eucalypts, great, fast-growing trees, don't need a lot of water, great for LA. But then there'd be a fire, and there'd be a fire in the valley, and the heat from the fire in the valley is like drying out the eucalypts that are on the slopes. And as a defensive measure, the eucalypts are like releasing the oil onto the bark to do it, and they're just drying out, and they've got a flammable oil on them, and the flames reach them, and they basically fucking explode. It's like, oh, sorry, LA, sorry, we convinced you to plant those trees. But yeah, someone convinced them to import eucalypts from Australia that had unintended consequences. It's like, sorry, that's on us. Sorry. We did not tell you they're more flammable than a lot of trees. The flowers are pretty. I think gum trees generally are quite beautiful trees. There's a few varieties, but I think quite generally gum trees are beautiful trees. And yes, the blossoms are quite nice. I agree, Michael. Okay, I haven't sung for a little while, but we'll do Bulla McCanker in a very Aussie accent. Give me a home among the plum trees. Sorry, give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees, a sheep or two, like a kangaroo. Explosion round the back. A clothesline out the back, the rounder out the front, and an old rocking chair. That was very big when I was a kid, actually. I also love that band's name, Bulla McCanker. Loogie Dogwood's beautiful trees. Nice. Free tree fact. Home for the oldie just in time before I go to bed. How you doing? I've been having a very chill night tonight because the tiredness got me at about 6 o'clock. I did not have the energy to make any cocktail videos tonight, but fortunately, there's been quite a few chatty people in here tonight, which has kept me going, although I am about to go to bed. Jake, what do you reckon? California put trees on land, shouldn't be on land? Redistricted by putting trees in them. Well, they made some mistakes with the trees, definitely. Ooh, making me a package. That's always fun. But to make you a package, because I got to send you a barrel stave so you can stick it in a bottle of whiskey and see what it does to it. Like, get a cheap whiskey and do it. Ooh, arrive in about a week. Okay, well, I've clearly got to put one together for you then. Trades. Ugh. Ooh, all good in the hood. I think I definitely need to get some sleep. It's weird, like this tiredness thing that I'm semi-regularly complaining about, which I think is a very mild sort of long COVID thing. Because of people who got really fucked around by COVID, hear about them just being unable to do shit for months on end. Like, just getting up out of a chair wipes them out. But I definitely get these waves of tiredness that I didn't get before the last thing. Legit, Loogie, being old is definitely part of it. But this thing I get now, I did not get before my last bout of COVID. Jude, my preferred news sources, ABC Australia, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. I would give a bit of credence to the BBC as well. I'd give a bit of credence to the Guardian as well. But by far, and SBS in Australia. But by far my preferred news source is the Australian ABC. Okay, you're joking about the drop bears lighting matches to start bushfires. This is a real thing that happens. I found out when I was up in Darwin, around the Northern Territory. They have just a huge amount of these small birds of prey, kites, and they're mainly scavengers, but they do get small animals. But when I say huge amounts, I mean they're like fucking pigeons. Like at a garbage site, there was just like so many of them. Like I have never seen masses of birds of prey like these little kites in and around Darwin. But here's the thing they do, because when there's a bushfire up there, all the little animals are running to escape the fire. They're ahead of the fire and they're not undercover. So it's like food source for the kites who will just swoop and get them. And then they realize, yeah, man, that's bringing food out. They will literally pick up a burning stick from an area that's on fire and fly off and carry it to a bit that's not on fire yet and drop it there to start a fire to chase out the little animals they want to eat. They're bastards. But also very clever, knowing that they can just friggin' start fires to make their food run out. It's not in their charter, Safa, and it's too late now because newspapers just aren't a thing anymore. But the ABC's website is a good substitute for a newspaper. You've got hawks here who hunt pigeons for food. Need eating pigeons if overrun the entire state. Well, we have particular falcons around here. There's a very popular thing in Melbourne in the falcon breeding season Someone's first one year these falcons just set up a nest on an office building, and they couldn't see the people through the window because the way light works. They didn't realize there were people right next to their nest, and the people were fascinated, and they ended up putting a webcam on them. So each breeding season, there's a really popular webcam live stream of the Collins Street Falcons. Everyone looks at how many eggs are they going to hatch, how many eggs are going to lay, how many of them will hatch, which of those will survive to fledging. There were 3 this year. But what's really funny is because, they fucking kill pigeons. Collins Street's one of the busiest streets in the Melbourne CBD. And what I always get a hoot, because you see the Falcons caught pigeon and rips it apart and feeds it to the little bubbers. And you're watching the webcam and there'll be a dismembered pigeon carcass there, which eventually falls off the ledge. And to me, it's just funny that I just imagine at some point someone just so many people walk down this street, College Street, someone just going doom, 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 and they get hit by a falling dismembered pigeon. Something about that just seems really funny to me. But yes, the Collins Street Falcons, the live cam for that is very popular. Anywho, that's taken us up to 10. And I am more than a little tired. And I thank all you fabulous people for keeping me company and keeping me chatting. But I am going to retire for evening. And I am hoping I am a bit more lively on Thursday night. You know what? Even if I'm not, I'm probably going to force myself to make some cocktail videos. I definitely want to make something with the apple flavored whiskey I made. Jacob, I feel your hugs are the only thing that's real. But we'll have to leave that for another day because I am going to go sleepy bobos. So you'll take care. Thank you for hanging out, and I will see you another time. Oh, well, I think we already know what we're going to do with I Can't Feel My Face, and I think we're just going to do it on... I think that's a Friday thing because it's literally just adding absinthe to the cocktail until it's like, okay, that's enough absinthe now. I'm going to put both the absinthe and the gin in the freezer. So, because I want the drink to be cold as fuck. So yeah, the first version will just be a bar spoon of absinthe. And I'll make it a big fucking drink and put it in a martini glass. And then we'll just put another spoon of absinthe in and stir it. And, and just keep adding a bar spoon of absinthe to I've hit my absinthe limit. No more absinthe, thank you. So we'll do that. I think we'll do that on Friday because seriously, that might fuck me up. So I think that's a Friday thing. Thursday, we should talk about another cocktail because I think we already know what we're going to do with I Can't Feel My Face. Thursday, I think maybe discuss other ideas. But anyway, you'll take care. See you another time. Bye for now. You are totally